My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Tuesday. You know, I would tell you I'm like totally charged, but I'm faking it a little bit today. You know, sometimes if you really want to get, it's really funny to me. I have some health issues, and I was talking with a friend recently, and they were really surprised at what I was telling them about some of my symptoms and the meds and all this stuff. I said, man, you always seem like you have so much energy. You know, here's the reality. Sometimes you gotta fake it. If you get up every single morning and whether you feel it or not, you just shout to the world, come on world, I'm ready for you. Let's get this day done. You'll find that you may get some of that energy, some of that joy that you don't naturally feel. So I am grateful and happy to be here today. I'm grateful for South Lake TV. I am grateful that we have another happy South Lake morning. And it is Tuesday, as I was so appropriately reminded by Miss Doris this morning. She's never going to let me forget that, by the way. I'm fairly sure. That's one of those things I'm never going to live down. Got a great show for you today. We are gonna talk about Monopoly today. We're gonna talk about Oswald and Mortimer, and if you don't know who Oswald and Mortimer are, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Cup of Joe is going to continue with our theme of home, and today we're going to talk about what it is and how to define it. And finally, today we have a friend of the show, Kathryn Deen. I'll get a little more into that when we get closer to it. Suffice it to say, I am extremely grateful for Kathryn today. So with all that said, we want to make sure that we get to her. She has graciously fit us into her schedule. So I'm going to go a little quick today. We're going to hear from our sponsors. And when we get back, we're going to get started. Don't go away.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the mortgage firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Hello, my name is Michael Singh with Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Our goal is to build trust based on a clear understanding of how your insurance policy protects you, your family, and even your business. When was the last time you took a good hard look at your insurance coverage? Would you be open to the possibility of reviewing your policy with me? One review of your policy can save you valuable time and money. Call me today to set up a review of what may be available to you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Look, it's always good to hear from our sponsors. If you have not used it, look, even if you don't need their services, I'm going to encourage you today. You might need them someday. Better to be prepared than unprepared, especially somebody like Mike Singh, somebody like Mike Singh or Dr. Zubkin. You know, if you think you have somebody in your family that might struggle with those issues, reach out. He's more than willing. His office will answer questions, I'm sure. And I know Mike will. I know Mike will sit down with you and just go over what you have. Anyway, so Monopoly Day. You know, this sounds a little old-fashioned, right? Monopoly has so many versions and forms, it's not even funny. There's Star Wars Monopoly and actual real estate Monopoly. And I got to tell you something, being in the real estate business, the only thing The only real comparison, similarity to real estate that Monopoly is, and it may have been at one time, but is everything is negotiable. um, I love a game of Monopoly. It was a standard in my family, especially since there were 6 of us. As the kids grew, you didn't have to kind of limp along. We had enough people to play it and make it really, really interesting. And one of my children actually always excelled, 5 or 6 years old. He just understood the art of the deal and started kicking the butt of everybody that played, almost to the point where people didn't want to play when they were teenagers because they knew Robert was always going to win. How are you going to celebrate Monopoly Day? Look, shut off all the devices. You should go buy a Monopoly game if you don't have one. The holidays are coming up, and you might have a chance to sit around a game, play some Monopoly. It's just a game. Don't take it too seriously, and learn something about the people that you live with or the people that you're related to. The beauty of the Monopoly game in my family was we got to know each other. We got to know how each other thinks. And I get to teach my kids a little bit about money. Anyways, moving on. Yesterday, Jay, when I was talking about Mickey Mouse's birthday, had said that Mickey Mouse was born in 1928, and I corrected him on air very quickly, and the truth is Jay was right.
Oh, I didn't know this.
So you didn't know you were right?
Well, no, I assume you were very convincing with how wrong I was.
I was. Well, and that's I apologize. I know Jay will forgive me. He won't hold resentments for long, at least if he does. So I just wanted to make a correction. Jay was correct. The first creature penned by Walt Disney was Oswald the Mouse, or Oswald the Rabbit. The second incarnation was Mortimer. Did you just have a graphic up for that, Jay? Or?
Yeah, I had something up. I'm not sure if this is the right stuff, but this is...
I believe that could be a Mortimer. That was the rabbit, I think.
Yeah.
So there was a... Mortimer looked a little too mean, I think.
Yeah, well.
Imagine our world if it hadn't been Mickey Mouse. If it had been Oswald the Rabbit, right? I mean, what was it about a mouse? I've honestly wondered, did he see a mouse running about, was he in a little ratty apartment in New York City or something? And a mouse ran across the floor and he thought that was cute? Anyways, we want to be fair and accurate all the time here on South Lake TV. And so I just wanted to say thank you, Jay. Forgive me for being so. I really did think so. Maybe I shouldn't correct. Maybe I should have said maybe I should check on that. So the truth is Oswald the Rabbit, Mortimer the Mouse. I'm really glad it came down to Mickey because I would have had a hard time wrapping my mouth around Mortimer, for those of you that are older. No, I cannot carry a tune in a bag. Too bad. Finally, we're going to get to Cup of Joe. We talked about home. I just went home for the holidays, to visit my dad. I wish I could go home for the holidays, but it's not in the schedule. One of the things that I did, every time I go, I spend a couple days. And, of course, I went to high school in that town, moved back there when I had 4 children. And so there was a period of my wife and I's life that we were raising our kids there. And the town has changed. It really has. There were places that I think was absolute crime, 150, 200-year-old homes that have been completely torn down to make way for things like Buffalo Wild Wings and Outback Steakhouse, because that was gorgeous. And there are some places in town that have been turned into law offices, and I'm sure while at least they preserve the outside of the building, the inside of the building has been completely reworked. And I think it's a little bit of a shame. What do you think of when you think of home? When I think of home, I think of those New England buildings. But the reality is I came here 20 years ago. Today, Florida is my home. It's funny, I went to visit a couple of years ago, and my sister actually asked me at one point, she said, "Joe, are you ever going to move back home?" And I had to say to her, "Crystal, my home is in Florida. This is just a visit." The reality is Is a home defined to you as a place? Is it a building, or is it the feelings you get when you conceive of something? For me, home is the people I'm surrounded by. You know, when I grew up in that town, as much as I love the New England experience and the snow, and it was cold, I don't like the cold. Anybody that follows me on Facebook knows my blood has thinned, and it was cold. At 10 degrees with a wind chill of 12 down to 2 degrees, I didn't care. I was cold. I got in my car and I could see my voice or see my breath. The reality is, home is the feelings I got around my kids, around my wife. I didn't really feel at home until I had a wife. And Miss Pat has melted my butter and really completed me right from day one. And that doesn't mean I've always been a great husband, but I know it was her that helped me feel at home. And I know I was the same way. She never really felt at home in the house she grew up in, but she felt at home in our build, wherever that was, whether it was an apartment, a house, a car that we were living in at one point. That was home for us because it was where we were safe. How do you define home? If you disagree with me, please comment on the socials. We'll get back to you. If you agree with me or if you have a different perspective, let us know. Use that comment section. Like, love, share, and use the comment section. We do want to hear from you. And we'll continue this theme tomorrow. All right, when we get back, we're going to hear from our sponsors again. And when we get back, we're going to hear from the friend of the show, Kathryn Deen. She has carved us into her schedule, done us a big favor. We had a previous guest that had a situation, couldn't make it at the last minute, and Kathryn Deen has agreed to fill in to give us some important information about tonight's city council meeting and some of the things that are going on. We really appreciate her. We're going to hear from the sponsors. Don't go away, because you really need to hear what Kathryn has to say. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clermont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. So grateful to be joined by Kathryn Deen. As you can see, we've actually had to use some of our magical technology. We brought her in through FaceTime. She has literally carved 15 minutes out of her schedule during an event to do this with us. So thank you. And I am actually getting into my shot now. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Kathryn, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys, and it's a beautiful day, so it's a great excuse to step outside and enjoy this perfect Clermont, quote, fall.
Oh, man, I'm loving every second of it, especially since I just came back from up north. You know, you want to appreciate your own home, go somewhere else for a little while.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I'm going to New York City next week for the Macy's parade, so I am getting ready to bundle up because I'm a Florida native, so I'm going to be freezing. Yeah. But Actually, today, right now, the event that I'm at is in Clermont. We have this phenomenal group of trail users that are doing a ride, and they stopped right here at Epic Cycles in downtown Clermont. And so the city and the county, we all came and we wanted to tell them about our trails. So it's been great just seeing this group of people using our trails on a nice, cold, beautiful day and enjoying getting outside.
Wow, that's great. And always great stuff happening here in the Clermont, South Lake area. It's one of the reasons why it's such a dynamic community, is there is so much for everybody.
And I have to say, just on the topic of trails, the city of Clermont has been getting a lot of attention on our amazing trail system. I was up in Sandestin for an American Planning Association conference as a panelist speaking about how our trails are so phenomenal. Then our city manager, Darren Gray, was last week on a panel speaking to Lake County. Just they're putting together this kind of trail group. And then we had the trail event today. So really, trails are on our mind in the city of Clermont. We are at the center of the Coast to Coast Connector Trail, and we're really incorporating our trail into our downtown master plan and extending our trail up through our downtown so that people can kind of go right through and be encouraged to stop at our breweries, our restaurants, things like that. So trails are a really hot topic in all of Lake County right now, especially as they look to continue connecting the gaps in the Coast to Coast Connector Trail.
You know, and that's such an important thing to have taken into consideration, because that won't just bring bicyclists through that are going to spend a few dollars at a restaurant, but it's going to attract other business, other sports businesses. I know there's other communities in Florida. Okeechobee's a perfect example. 30% of the area's income comes from tourism. The sports tourism surrounded by the lake. And while we may have some of that, having those trails to make us available, bring other businesses in as well. Look, Kathryn, we don't have much time. If you've carved out some time, and I want to be respectful of that, let's talk about the city council meeting. We're swearing in some new council, or actually, we're swearing in some councilmen that won the election.
Sure, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So we had our general election, municipal election, and that was the only thing that voters were voting on. So we usually do have a little bit of a lower turnout for that, but we appreciate everyone who came out and voted. And we had 2 seats up for election, because how it works in the city of Clermont is we have 5 seats. We've got a mayor and our 4 council members that are all elected officials. And we have the even years. You have 2 of the the odd years. You have 2 of the council seats up for election. And the even years, you have the other 3. So this year, we had seats 2 and 4 up. And tonight, at the council meeting, we will be swearing in the winners. So seat 2, the winner was, let's see. So we had seat 2 and seat 4. So we had Heidi Brischke for seat 4, and she was the incumbent. And then seat 2, we had, oh my goodness, I'm blanking right now. I just stepped out from my meeting.
Jim Purvis won the seat too, I believe.
Thank you. I know it said James on the ballot. Thank you. So James, or also known as Jim Purvis, won seat 2. Now, this is the first time that Jim Purvis will take a seat in council. So we have, one person who has been on before and one person who is new. We are, welcoming both tonight, and they will officially be sworn in at that meeting. So it'll be a nice formal opportunity for them to take their oath of office in front of the public and get started, get to work. And
it's always good to see that process go on. We actually have a couple of other things happening. We're going to accept the Florida Festival Events Association Award, and we've talked about that on here before.
Yeah, we continue to win awards for our incredible events, especially Light Up Clermont. And so, yeah, we're formally accepting those awards from the state tonight. So that'll be a nice opportunity to get that official recognition for those awards that we've already discussed.
Tell us a little bit about the other one that's coming up, the Olympus Project. the Community Development District. Can you give people an idea what that is?
Sure. So that is a system that's going to work well for a community like Olympus. Olympus is this huge 250-acre community that we just annexed into the city of Clermont. And so a community development district helps give it rules and regulations and helps it run itself in a way that works for a community of that size. It's going to have a lot of residential development. If you want to look at other examples of community development districts, you can look to, for instance, locally the Villages is run with a bunch of community development districts. So they're just looking to create one community development district right now, and that would be a good way for them to have a process of what rules and regulations for people who live there. And so we are making the first steps of that CDD, as it's called, tonight at our council meeting by introducing that on the agenda, and then you'll see it come back.
Now, let me ask you, we actually have the Olympus project up, and we're looking at some really cool renderings of all the stuff that's proposed, and surrounding that is going to be the houses. So the Community Development District is really going to administer the houses, correct?
Yeah, no, that would be kind of taking jurisdiction of the residential developments there and what kind of rules they have for those communities and neighborhoods.
So will that supersede
as that comes up? But
does a CDD supersede the HOA? Does that mean they can't have an HOA, or an HOA will be for a different purpose?
We'll get into that. We could actually have a follow-up interview with the specifics of CDDs and how they tie right into the communities, but there's a lot to it.
I love that idea, and I can do that on Homefront Real Estate Day.
There you go. Yeah.
So there are some, you're right, there are intricacies there that we need to do. Is it going to have a bond? Is it going to mean houses are more expensive or less expensive, whatever? And so we can talk about that, and I will actually, after the show, later today, schedule that with you sometime soon.
You could teach me a few things as well, being a realtor, because that is your world. So I'm here to learn as well. Yeah, we're very excited. Every little step with Olympus is, just an exciting sign of progress for us to see this community coming to life. I know our mayor and council and our city manager are so excited about this and how it aligns with our brand as the choice of champions. And so, every little milestone we like to celebrate and acknowledge, and just continue to get closer to, that groundbreaking that could happen in 2020, and just every step that we want to celebrate of seeing this athletic, sports, wellness, health community come to life. It just has such interesting, ambitious plans with trails and practice venues and competition venues and things like that.
Yeah, so 5 years from now, the town will look different. Look, one last question I wanted to ask you about was, I understand that the developers for the new distillery, the same people who are developing, I believe, 50 West, are looking for a permit for 12th and 50, the old steel mill. And I'm really kind of excited about that, because that's going to mean a lot of change down on that area. Can you tell us anything about that? I mean, is there a hint to where the council's leaning? Give me some breaking news.
Well, I can say that we're excited about the idea of that project. We've got our two breweries downtown. We've got our wine shop downtown. We've got Corelli's that also sells wine in addition to Bacchus, which is the wine shop. And then the idea of having a distillery basically right by the entrance of our downtown is a really cool idea, and something that we think would be, could be very attractive and very interesting. So we just have to let the council talk that out if they have any questions about it or see how they're feeling about it. But tonight that will be on the agenda as well. And there's phenomenal plans for that site, the former Excelitech site. And, they're looking at having a tasting room and possibly, make your own and things like that. But of course, we want to leave the news to the business too.
That's all right.
You want to go through the process with them as the city and explore how that would fit into the city of Clermont. And so far, so good.
You had to know that I had to try. Okay. Finally, can you give us a little bit about obviously Christmas is coming. Tell us about Light Up Clermont and the Christmas parade that's coming up.
Yeah, we're so excited. Every year we have Light Up Clermont, our biggest event of the year. Thousands and thousands of people come to downtown. And this year, on Friday, December 6th, we have our tree lighting ceremony at 6:30. Of course, the event kicks off a little bit earlier, and it'll go from about 5:30 till 9. The exact times are on our website, but at 6:30, we'll have that phenomenal moment where the tree lights up. And then on Saturday,
So
December
6:30 is when they hit the switch, right?
7th, is when they hit the switch.
All right.
Come earlier, hang out, stake out your spot on City Hall Plaza, and then come see the tree light up and enjoy the festivities. We have Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there with the Kiwanis Club, taking photos with the kids at the Clermont City Center. We'll have live music. Lots of food vendors. So it's a festive, fun kickoff to the holiday season. And then on December 7th, of course, is our hometown holiday parade. And that starts at 10 a.m. It's the same route as last year. We have put that route on our Facebook page as a map, so you can decide where you want to stake out your spot to sit and bring your chair and watch the parade with your family and friends. It's a wonderful holiday tradition that we love celebrating, and the parade fills up very quickly. Once again, all our spots are full, so if you want to get in next year's parade, look out for that application early. That's a little insider tip there.
I know that I'm pretty grateful. We brought up the route of the parade on the screen right now, and I'm looking forward to it. And the truth is, I'm very blessed this year because my spot has been reserved. I could let this go, right, Jay? I could tell people about this, right?
We may want to double check with Kathryn on that one on location, but yes.
Well, my spot, but we are doing it, right?
From what I understand, yes, we will be at the Christmas parade.
Yeah, I heard that you guys are covering the parade. We're happy to have you guys and all media come cover the parade and share the joy with the community who can't be there or who want to watch it again. Or, I think it's so wonderful for you guys to come and share that video footage, and people can see all of our dance.
Look, I've been dreaming my whole life of covering like the Macy's Day Parade. Ever since I was a little kid, and now, man, it's not Macy's, but hey, it's a Christmas parade. I'm gonna give you my best, my best coverage. Let's see if I can pull some stuff out of the woodwork. I'll have to look at old parades to get some nice standard parade phrases, like my sports phrases, Jay, so I can look like I know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Kathryn, I want to say thank you so much. Look, I want to point out to everybody once again that Kathryn carved time out of her schedule to help us out, and I just can't tell you how much having a friend of the show like Kathryn means to me personally, and thank you, Kathryn.
Thank you, Joe. And I should mention that our holiday doesn't end with the parade. Concerts the evening of Saturday, December 7th. Our carols, Lessons and Carols concert at the Clermont Performing Arts Center. There's 2 times for that. Those are on our website as well. So you can just keep celebrating Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night with your family and friends in the city of Clermont for Christmas.
Amen.
I did want to point out that there were 2 charter amendments that were passed with the recent election, and so those are also official now, that there will be term limits of 4 2-year term limits, and then you have to take at least a year break before coming back to council. And then as well, there's an 18-month residency requirement now, instead of just having to live in the city one day when you qualify to run for city council, at least 18 months. So those are the other things that I just wanted to throw in there for you. Thank you for giving me a platform to share this with your audience. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much. We love you, Kathryn. You have a great day.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Look, it means so much to me to have guests like Kathryn. I really appreciate people like them. And, I would have to say that, she is one of those people that show the greatness that I'm always talking about. Look, if you know somebody that should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, please reach out to me. I'm booking in December and January now. There is There is almost nobody I can't interview. I can always find some angle to get somebody who's worthwhile on here. Somebody with a good story, doing some good work, has an interesting business, or just has an interest in people in the community. It's the whole point of Joe Knows South Lake. So if you know somebody who should be a guest here, reach out to me. I'm sure Jay has the information up. If you know anybody who would like to brand their business, who would like to get more exposure in the community, they should be advertising here on South Lake TV. So don't miss that opportunity. We have new advertisers coming on all the time. And you know what? If you want to get into this, we're still somewhat new. So we are extremely affordable compared to any other kind of advertising. All right, that's my shameless plug. I would remind you that there is greatness inside you. And just like Kathryn has shown and is doing on a daily basis, bringing the greatness out of others, I encourage you today, dare to let your greatness show and dare to bring the greatness out of somebody else. I want to say thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. And we have an amazing show for you moving into the holidays. I know it's hard. Don't wind down. It ain't Thanksgiving yet, okay? I just want to say I'll see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: